Yes, live stream.
Live stream is on, right, Prabhu? You can cancel it, I think.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Haribol. Hare Krishna, everyone. On behalf of Hare Krishna Vaman Kshetra, I would like to welcome you all in our Friday Bhagavad class. If you are the first one, welcome, and if you are just a repeat Bhakta, welcome back again. Before we actually go to our verses today, actually I would like to sing Radha Madhav for the pleasure of their lordships. You can also sing in the background as well. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन ब्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन बल्लभ गिरिवरधारी हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा हरे रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गोविन्दा गोपाला मुरली मनोहर नन्दलाला गोविन्दा गोपाला मुरली मनोहर हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ श्री राधे जय राधा नील माधव राधा नील माधव श्री राधे जय राधा जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम धन धाम जय वृंदावन धाम जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद देव गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल श्री श्री राधानाथ राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय सामदेव भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जय उदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्णवी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. Today, let me just share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Prabhu.
My screen is visible? Yes. Thank you, Mother. So, we are actually today we are reciting verse 6.9 from chapter 6, verse number 9. Just before this, we start this verse. Where we are at the moment is we are on the 6th chapter. That's Dhyana Yoga. And actually, the last week, Atul Gopal Prabhuji very nicely captured up whatever we just completed up to the verse 7.8. In a nutshell, if we just talk on the first couple of verses, it actually gives the definition of the reunification. So pretty much, the duty without desire. That is the takeaway how we just get it. And the third and fourth verse talks about the stages of the yogas, what action, how we just do kind of thing. And then the verse 5 and 6 talks about mind and the power, and the seventh and the eighth verse talks about the realized state. So yeah, as I just mentioned last class, Atul Gopal Prabhuji mentioned about Bhakti Yoga is the pinnacle among the yoga systems like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and he very nicely described on how Krishna actually described the state of someone who has conquered their mind and reached that tranquility. So he actually explained on that, and I don't want to go into that. And he also give the very good example of the chariot. So they give the analogy of how we control the five horses as our senses, and the reins are the mind, and I'll not go in that detail. So we'll just we'll start on the verse 6.9, and I'll just read the first, and maybe I'll request one Mataji or one Prabhuji to read if you wish. सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीन मध्यस्थद्वेषबन्धुषु साधुष्वपिष्यते. And Prabhuji wants to recite the verse. Or Mataji.
Turunmitrani udasina madhyastadveshabandhusu sadhishvapi cha papeshu samabuddhirvishishyate.
Thank you, Prabhu. I'll come to Mataji next verse. Let's go word to word here. Suhrit, two well wishers by nature. Mitra, benefactors with affection. Ari, enemies. Udasina, neutral between belligerents. Madhyastha, mediator ambitious. Bandhusu, and the relatives or well wishers. Sadhusu, up to the pious, api as well as cha and papesu on to the sinners, samabuddhi having equal intelligence, vishishyate is far advanced. Let's hear the translation. A person is considered still further advanced when he regrets honest well-wishers, affectionate benefactors, the neutrals, mediators, the envious, friends, and enemies, the pious and the sinners, all with an equal mind. So this verse doesn't have purpose. So I think Prabhupada don't wanted anyone to it. So it's very much straightforward that everyone should understand. I think we can straightforward go. Should we straight go to the verse 10? Or should we just talk a little bit about what it is, right? So, I mean, definitely we are not capable enough to derive the proper, as Prabhupada didn't mention here, but let's try to actually understand what this verse is talking about. So this verse here, if we just see it, if we break this verse in different words, it's talking about the core concepts, like there are 9 core concepts that we can find how people to illustrate their variety of human relationships. So what kind of relationship people have with among the people, other people at a different level, it just describes in the different states, in different categories, not states, sorry. So the first one is suhrit. Suhrit means, as it clearly mentioned here, as well, there are well wishers, the natural well wishers. So they expect nothing in return. So if we take the example of the suhrit, what can it be? If anyone wants to just get a guess, so what kind of people can fall in this category, suhrit? Suhrit means they are the natural will. Yes, Prabhuji, I think Gopal Prabhu wanted to tell something.
It's a well-wisher of all living entities.
Yes, perfectly, Prabhuji. Well, we shall not one, not two. So I was just thinking, what can be the best example for this is not there is no better example in this particular age, Kali Yuga, than Srila Prabhupada. He at the age of 70, what he did, he traveled to West with how much of money? I think around 40 rupees, I believe. I'm not too sure, but I think around that money. And nothing, just a bag and few books and pen. And why he went there? To get the fame, name, to gain anything, to get wealth, to make a big building. Why he went there? He just went just solely out of compassion to share the spiritual knowledge for the benefit of humanity, not the Americans, not the Australians, not the Africans, not the Indians. For the benefit of the humanity, he just went there. So that's the kind of the people who falls on this category. Maybe we'll find these kind of people in once in a when there is actually a security from the Lord to send his um, uh, personal associates to send his message. So he sent people like that. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the second one here we see is Shuhran Mitrar. Mitra means friend here. So the friend simply means the affectionate friends, right? What we can see. So who affectionate? I was just thinking what can be the best example on this one is I still again just think definitely, I mean, we don't have any affectionate friend here and we cannot find. So the example I thought was Sudama. So when the Sudama and Krishna has a friendship, well, there was no expectation. They are mitra. They are affectionate friends. They only exchange the love and support at the spiritual level or spiritual practice only, right? So simply, I mean, in the current, I mean, age at the current age, if we think that we can fall in that category or go near to that category, we can see the god brother and god sisters of our guru parampara disciples, right? So we can just relate that, but maybe not 100%. Sometimes we see this and that, but we can at least relate that thing at the current age. So the third category the verse talks about here is Suhran Mitrar Ari Mitra Ari Mitrar. This Ari is on this one. Ari means enemy. So the enemy, the kind of enemy that we can just think of is Kamsa or Shishupal, right? Kamsa and Shishupal were definitely the enemies of Lord. I mean, there is no one if you just see at the spiritual level, there is no enemy or no, actually everyone is there, equally. We are the part and parcel of God. Similarly, Kamsa and Shishupal are also the part and parcel of God. But at the material level, if you see it, they are the enemies. Right. In scriptures, we can see these were direct, um, kind of, we can see that they were fighting, or he was just going against that, but that was part of the Lila anyways. So Ari might be someone who actively tries to stop their devotional service in a current, scenario, in the sense, current time. If we see it, who can be Ari is, for example, if someone wants to come to Bhagavatam class now and say, let's go, today is Friday and best to go, just enjoy in the party. So they are actually Ari in this particular case and at this current age. So the next category here we can see is Suran Mitrar Udasini. Udasin, not Udas, Udasini. Udas means different word. Udasini here. Udasini is they are indifferent, or they are neutral kind of people. So they don't care whether what is happening, this and that. For example, just yeah, sometimes we go to city, sometimes we go to Blacktown, sometimes we go to Campbelltown area to do Harinam Sankirtan. We just go there. We don't care about who is coming. If someone is coming, we'll give prasadam. We will, if they want to join, we'll just ask them, if you want to join our Harinam Sankirtan, just join, enjoy, and have prasadam at the end. So these are the kind of categories of the people we can think of. We are neutral. Whatever they are doing, we don't have anything to do with their business. Our business is just to glorify Lord. And the other one, it says Surin Mitrar Udasini Madhyastha. Madhyastha is the mediator, right? In the middleman. Middleman can be sometimes a wrong word. I'm not able to get the right word, but the kind of it's arbitrator, I will say, right? So he just facilitate things, not just idhar ka baat udhar kind of thing. So he's a facilitator. What he does here, we can get the example of the Narad Muni, right? So we see there's some, now and then at the end of Manavantara or Kalpa or whatever things is happening, there is excuse me, there is always a kind of fight between the devatas and the asuras, right? So Narad Muni comes. What Narad Muni does, he facilitate the message of the Lord Vishnu, or the Lord himself, Krishna, at a higher spiritual level, to make them understand what it is and how to just get out of that situation. So these kind of people or the personality comes into that particular category. So the next one is Dvesha. Dvesha is a Madhyastha, then Dvesha here, right? Madhyastha, Dvesha. Dvesha they are the actually envious people. They are actually hate. किसी का प्रगति होना नहीं. They don't want to see someone's progress in a kind of in a current age. If we just say they don't want to see Mahabharata time. Duryodhana was he was always envious of Panda. I mean, what he did not do to kill Pandavas, right? And then he never actually can see their success. And in this spiritual community, we can see anyone who is actually get envious of someone's spiritual advancement, are the person or the personality that falls into that category, because our life is not this life. We see this body as as start of this point, but we don't know where we left our previous life, and what actually prarabdha we have, and where we are continuing. Someone just we see from the day one, from the day of the birth, he is just into the practice. Maybe he's not that we don't see him progressful from the outer world. But if we see some people just after 50 or 60, they join in 10 years, they just progress like anything. it is actually. So if someone says, in 5 years or 10 years, this Prabhuji, this Mataji, or this personality is just progress like anything, why I'm not able to, and then this puts that envious mind towards such kind of personality, falls in this category in this current at this current age. And the last one is Bandhusa. Everyone knows Bandhusa. I don't need to explain. All our relatives, right? So if we just give an example from the past, we see dynasties, right? Yadu Bangsi, Kuru Bangsi, Raghu Bangsi. Here we see families, this family, that family. These are the relatives category. But when actually we have those relatives, the message here, and I'll just come to that message after. I'm just categorizing the people. But however, what I want to say here is, when Lord actually tell the Gita, he didn't just selected the Yadubangsi, or he didn't select Arjuna as from the Yadubangsi, right? He's from the Kuru. So I was just coming to that point. Then the second the next category here we can see is sadhus. Sadhu. So sadhu are the pious, personalities. We don't see anyone in this category in this particular age, but we can think of the six Goswamis from the Vrindavan, right? They are actually the scholars. They actually come here, set the standard for the devotion, and we follow that standard somehow. So these are the kind of personality they form into that category. And the last one, on this one, says papesu. The other category are the sinners, right? So the example here we can see is the Jagai Madai, right? So they were actually the sinners, but they were actually the sinners in the if you just see those from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, or the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, we see those Jagai Madai as the sinners. But again, even having those sinners, but they were transferred. They were actually transformed by the mercy of the Nityananda Prabhu, right? We'll just come to that later. So these are the kind of categories of the personalities or the people we can see. And now just coming to the point. So the yogi, how yogi sees these kind of people from category 1 to category 9, what it is described in this verse, how they see these above people as a relation is same level. There is no difference to them. With they see this with the equal version, or called the samabuddhi, right? So in the material world, if we usually categorize people based on, we are talking about us now. So how they actually affect our ego or comfort, right? So we categorize people. If someone is just affecting my ego, or giving comfort to my ego, that's how we either love them, or we like them, or dislike them. This is our nature, not like looking into the samabuddhi. So what we do is, through this verse, actually, what Krishna explains, that the connected yogi, who are actually the yuktas here, they seems beyond the physical body appearance and the temporary roles that we are playing. So they don't see that as a primary, or they don't see the within them. They don't see like that personality within them. Again, at the same time, it doesn't mean that if a yogi sees the tiger and the cow, does he treat the tiger and cow in the same way? Is basically not. What it means is physically he understands that is one nature of the animal, and that is one nature of the animal. But rather their internal composure, he just he has the compassion towards those animals, or towards those jivas, regardless of what they are, who they are, how they encounter, what they do, what they eat, what they don't eat. And in the last weeks, verse, Atul Gopal Prabhu was explaining about the how actually the self-satisfied people sees, they see pebbles, stone, gold, everything as same, and from the previous verse. In this verse, what Krishna is telling here is, he is taking the one step above from the material things that we can see, like pebbles, stone, gold, as one thing. Here Lord Krishna touching all these emotions, and comparing yogi, seeing all those emotions at one level, like stone, pebbles, and the gold, which is a little bit difficult because these are emotions, not the physical, things that we can see. So this is a little bit. These emotions are difficult to control, and he just explains how we can control in the coming verses as well. So how actually devotee from the this example, how devotee should actually see the relationship is, the devotee should not just see a blank state of or the blank slate or or the natural soul. They see the Lord sitting in the heart of the that particular whoever the saint is or the sinner is, right? So the devotee see the person not as a outside his role or whatever things. So he see directly as a Lord sitting in the heart of that particular jiva. Hridasanni Bristo, right? So they say Hridasanni in our heart, the Lord is always sitting there. Sarvasya Aham Hridasanni Bristo. The inside of every jiva, the Lord is there. So the devotee should see that. And this doesn't mean that, does even if we see that, says the saint or the sinner, if we see like that, then should we just, have a kind of relationship with the sinner or saint or not, or should not we have a, relationship? We definitely, and there are different categories actually. Don't want to go into detail there, but in a nutshell, we should have a kind of, we should have a exchange of the love with all, devotees, non-devotees, whatever it is, but our association should be always with the sadhu sangha, because that is the attachment with that is only the attachment we need, is the attachment with the sadhu sangha, that is absolutely required to attain actually the bhakti. Then when we get the bhakti or the bhakti prema, then again after the bhakti prema also we still need the association, right? Like we can see our so many guru maharaj are here, right? So they are actually they actually got the bhakti prema already. They attain that bhakti prema, but still they give a association with sadhus because that is essential. They want to set the path. So here the logic here is how we see is the Krishna Shita is sitting inside every jiva, every jiva, and we should not be. I may. I mean, I should not be liking or disliking, because I should always like and behave nicely because my Lord is sitting there. That is what the message would be. How the devotee should look into another jivas. And we can even within the devotees as well. I mean, there are so many kind of devotees you can see, but in a at a high level we can just consider those bhaktas or sadhus in a devotees in three categories, like kanishta bhakta, kanishta, madhyam, and the uttama, right? Kanishta is like me. Always where I see the God, only just go to 180 Falcon Street, go see Radha Gopinath there. Then only I can see I'm a Kanishta. I can't. I mean, when I just come immediately out, I have all those, whatever the category I say. I have Dvesh, I'm a sinner. I do. I'm envious to people. So this kind of category. The second category are Madhyama category, right? So they love devotees like Atul Gopal Prabhuji. If you whatever you say, he will just his one smile will melt everyone. So we have that's Madhyama category of the devotees actually. Loves devotees, avoid those envious people, even if they are telling, just avoid that conversation and try to help with clear intention, very innocently. And the other one is the Uttamas, right? So they see God in everyone. Last time I really don't know what was the foolish. There was one devotee who was, I don't know, hopefully, Hare Krishna, he's still fine. He was on a bed, hospital bed, seems to be very critical. And in the hospital, he was just asking, what do you, there were other devotees, they were asking, what do you want, anything you wanted. Then he said, there is only one wish I have. I wish I can get initiated by the Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And someone just contacted Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He was walking somewhere in the morning. I saw that video. I hope that is not AI made. I'm pretty sure it is not AI made. I can hear all the background noises as well. Radhanath Swami Maharaj, I don't never met the devotee. He just initiated on his bed, and on the bed. I don't know the status of the devotee, to be honest. He initiated him and he said, Maharaj, now I have no wish left. right? So I'm not, and what I'm referring here is the Uttama category of devotees is like the Maharaj, the Rana. So I'm just giving an example of Maharaj. So our tendency should always be from Kanishta to Madhyama and Madhyama to Uttama. If someone can take a charter flight, Kanishta to Uttama, Hari Bol. Yes, maybe I'll just continue in this. So in this kind of material life, we have to deal with those kind of so many people. So the takeaway from it, instead of reacting with those people, what we should always think is this person is a soul currently wearing a mask of anger, envious, anything. Just you make it. There is he put a mask or the cover, and underneath that there is my Lord sitting. Hare Krishna. So चलो छोड़ दो इस बात को जाने दो. Thank you very much. So we should have that kind of that kind of bhava towards it. How we actually apply this kind of samabuddhi is samabuddhi is like not seeing the indifferent, the sinner, not seeing different between the sinner and the saint is kind of dopamine, right? So current scenario, current let's talk the friend and in me, our brain actually responds that creates a dopamine for the friend. So the keep example a little bit later, it may not be good sometimes. So we have that kind of tendency, right? So Krishna actually suggests the higher state of consciousness on here. We should not, these chemical reactions should not actually we should not be slave of those chemicals.
Prabhuji, your voice is not there.
Hare Krishna, am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, sir, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I think there is something happened, looks like. Let me share the screen again. Yeah, my screen is visible now, right? I hope so. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
yes.
Sorry. I think there is some disrupted for some reason, looks like. So Krishna here suggests the slave of those what you call here, right? I mean, there are so many almost 14, 15 different kind of duality. You can see happiness, distress, this and that. So uh, simply those dualities are nothing more than where they arise from they arise from the our sense perception. So dualities, that is pretty much actually I just remember one there is someone called Dr. Anna in Stanford Edison University, I believe. And uh, I was just reading a article, and it says that long story short, she just got some prize on that and as well. What pretty much she mentioned is even if we create a dopamine, if we just keep our brain keeps on generating the dopamine now and then, very much fluctuating up and down, like sukha and dukkha, like those kind of dualities, the dualities, right? So what happens there is our brains get retarded very soon, and she got, I think, some kind of award on this one. But our Bhagavad Gita clearly says on 2.38, right? So sukha dukkhe samay krita. So we should not be actually bewildered or should not be triggered by that sukha dukkha, that whatever the dualities we experience. So this verse also is pretty much refers to that. Let's go to the next verse. I think I spent a lot of time on this one. Maybe I'll be a little bit quick on this one. I'll just read the verse first. Yogi yujita satata matmanam rahasi sthita ekaki yati chittatma nirasira parigraha. Any Mataji's beside the
योगीत
verse?
सततम् आत्मानं रहसि स्थिता एकाकी यदचित्तात्मा निराशीरपि अपरिग्रहः.
Thank you, Mataji. We'll go synonym. Yogi or transcendentalist, Yujita must concentrate in Krishna consciousness, Satatam, constantly, Atmanam, himself by body, mind, and self. Rahasi, in a cellular place. Sthita, being situated. Ekaki, alone. Yata chitta, yat chittatma, always careful in mind. Nirasi, nirasya, without being attracted by anything else. Aparigraha, free from the feeling of possessiveness. Translation, please here. A transcendentalist should always engage his body, mind, and self in relationship with the Supreme. He should live alone in a secluded place and should always carefully control his mind. He should be free from desires and feelings of possessiveness. Purport, please here. Krishna is realized in different degree as Brahman, Paramatma, and Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna consciousness means consciously to be always engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. But those who are attached to the impersonal Brahman or the localized Supreme are also practically Krishna. The impersonal is spiritual ray of Krishna, and the super soul is the all-pervading part. Thus, and the person is transcendental because such a devotee knows Mahatma. I'm not sure. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I think I have some internet problem today in my area. Apologies for that, Mataji and Prabhuji. So we're reading here. A directly Krishna conscious person is the topmost transcendentalist because such a devotee knows what is meant by Brahman and Paramatma. His knowledge of the absolute truth is perfect, whereas the impersonalist and the mediative yogi are imperfectly Krishna conscious. Nevertheless, all of these are instructed herewith to be constantly engaged in their particular pursuits so that they may come to the highest perfection sooner or later. The first business of the transcendentalist is to keep the mind always on Krishna. One should always think of Krishna and not forget him even for a moment. Concentration of the mind on the Supreme is called samadhi or trance. In order to concentrate on the mind, one should always remain in seclusion and avoid disturbance by external objects. He should be very careful to accept favorable and reject unfavorable conditions that affect his realization. And in perfect determination, he should not hanker after unnecessary material things that entangle him by feeling of possessiveness. All these perfections and precautions are preferred perfectly adjusted when one is directly in Krishna consciousness. Because the direct Krishna consciousness means self-abnegation, wherein there is very little chance for material possessiveness. Sri Rupa Goswami characterized Krishna consciousness in this way. अनासक्तस्य विषयान् यथार्हमुपयुज्यत निर्बन्ध कृष्ण सम्बन्धे युक्त वैराग्यमुच्यते प्रापञ्चिकतया बुद्ध्या हरिसम्बन्धि वस्तुतः मुमुक्षिभिः परित्यागो वैराग्यं फल्गु कथ्यते. When one is not attached to anything but at the same time aspects everything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. On the other hand, one who rejects everything without knowledge of its relationship to Krishna is not a complete in his renunciation. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1, 2, 255 and 256. A Krishna conscious person well knows that everything belongs to Krishna, and thus he is always free from feelings of personal possession. As such, he has no hankering for anything on his own personal account. He knows how to accept things in favor of Krishna consciousness and how to reject things unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. He is always aloof from material things because he is always transcendental and he is always alone, having nothing to do with person not in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, a person in Krishna conscious is the perfect yogi. So let's talk about what this verse is doing. Srila the Bhakti Purport ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this verse, right? So we are actually talking about four things here. The four actually the pillar of practice, I will say, of the sadhana here, right? The first one, it's we'll go into these words, but what it is saying is rahasi sthita. That's one pillar, and the second one is ekaki. The second pillar. The third pillar is the yat chittatma. This is the third pillar. And the fourth pillar is nirasi raparigraha. Is the fourth pillar. So what in this verse Krishna is telling is giving a technical requirement kind of thing. So if someone wants the laptop to do something, office to do some basic work, someone plays the game, someone has some office kids, there are different kind of requirements. So for those different kind of requirements, we see different kind of laptops here, right? Similarly, so here Krishna is giving the technical requirement to have a successful meditation practice in a very materialistic way to make it. I just give a laptop example to relate it, right? So Rahasi Sthita means, what it means is, Rahasi Sthita means finding a secular, in the purport also we talk about the secluded place, right? So finding a secluded place. So where can we find the secluded place here? In the Himalayas or inside this ocean? I don't know where you can find. Because everyone where we are always coming to a city. In the modern context, this particular secluded place. Maybe can I just turn off my video, Prabhuji? I think I have some issues with my internet. I'll turn off my video if that helps. So we are talking about the Rahasi Sthita. Rahasi Sthita means finding a secluded place. So in modern context, we can see this means, carving out a space from our digital distraction, TV, news, movies, serial. I don't know, so many things. Normally, I'm not a movie person, but yeah, for me, I have my laptop, always laptop. So mobile, so many distractions, noise, unnecessary noise, family obligations. I'm not telling that, we have to go away from the family obligation, but we have to draw the line. We have family, extended family, relatives, so we have to draw the line. So we have to definitely do the obligations, but have to draw the line. So this is how we can just get a little bit of time for our sadhana. So this is what the Rahasi Sthita means in our in present in a current time, I will say. At this time, we can just think this time. So the second pillar we discussed here is ekaki. If we just here, ekaki is the second pillar we discussed, right? So ekaki means solitude of being, means even in a crowd, right? The yogi will feel alone with the divine. So even हजारों और लाखों के बीच में भी he is the only one. So that kind of even in this particular at this particular age, we go to office, work in the morning, train, even we don't get a seat, or even sometimes even we don't get a space just to stand, right? So even in that crowd, how we can just think of the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna? What tools we have? So that is called the ekaki here. So not needing happiness, I don't need my mobile or laptop or see or something, to see to be happy. The Lord sits in, as we all know, Lord Sarvasita Ahamadrasanna Vishnu again. He sits just here next to you, not next to you, always with you. This is the ekaki, right? The third pillar we discussed here is yata chittatma. Yata chittatma means self-controlled. So this is actually the harness here. How we just how we actually harness the mind and senses, which is the self-control only. That is only in our control, right? Controlling our senses is in our control. The rest, nothing is in our control. Sukha dukkha, we cannot come. We have tried in we have always those external factors that affect us, but internally, through the sense perception, we have a control. So yata chitta atma, this is the mind is treated like a wild. Prabhuji last week very nicely explained, right? So the mind is treated like a wild horse, and then that must be guided towards that focus. That focus is within us in the heart, where he is sitting always there. And the last and the fourth pillar we discussed here is nirasira parigraha. Nirasira parigraha means reincarnation grief. Nirasi means free from personal selfish desire. I don't have any selfish desire. Yes, I have a desire to serve the Lord, but that's not that desire to serve the Lord. I don't have a desire to enjoy myself. Free from personal selfish desire. And the aparigraha, free from the urge to hoard or possess things. I have BMW. Tomorrow we have a hall program there. How nicely I put the tika. How I'm very bad on wearing dhoti, but still, how good I can wear dhoti and come. Yes, we should always be good, because we actually represent Lord, Krishna, who has all 6 appearances. Definitely, he gives us appearances, but those appearances, whatever we are just having as part and parcel of Krishna, we should not own that. We should actually be pride that Lord give it to us. That is what our position should be as a parigraha. So from the bhakti, through this the perspective, I have very limited time. I thought to complete another 2 verses, but I think I have to finish on this one. But time is just there. I'll just finish this through the literal transaction the literal transaction of this particular Shashulushan is living in cave and mountains, right? But the Srila Prabhupada clearly mentioned in this particular world at this age, he may clearly mention where is this secularism doesn't mean just go the physical separation, just go to the forest and see. No, it means saying away from the materialistic talks that we do sometimes, most of the time, maybe like me, toxic things, toxic environment, toxic people, no prajalpa. Don't talk anything, no prajalpa. This is what going to the forest at this particular age means. Going to the forest is like this, and it is about protecting our mental environment. So this will actually protect our material environment. And we just talked about the aparigraha, non-possessiveness. We should not be enjoying our BMW, Mercedes, whatever the car we have, whatever the opulence we have. We should definitely enjoy. This is Lord's opulences, and we are also using, because Lord is merciful and He's giving us. We should not own it. We should definitely surrender this to Lord and use on His behalf. That is what the bhava should be. And the false, we should never have a false sense of ownership on this one. And the another one, the last one is we discussed. Just trying to conclude is the satatam, right? Always. So the another thing is we should have a non-possessiveness. We should have where we find we should not have no prajalpa. Those kind. This from the bhakti perspective, how we just separate. And the last one is always. Always means is the goal should be just to meditate on Lord. Maybe only on the whole program, maybe, or tomorrow, or the Bhagavad Gita class Friday only, or Srimad Bhagavatam class 8 o'clock in the morning, or maybe 20-minute morning or evening we do the arati. One should then we relax all day, or what? No, always, right? Satatam kirtayantam, satatam, always. So the always implies making life like a meditation. Whatever there is one that is actually there is one verse like a manas. I just try to remember the verse. That is only actually for the Shivaji. I was just thinking how we should actually remember the Lord. That is a very nice verse. I just somehow just slip from my head. If I remember, I'll just come back to that. So her ek pal, I just remembering what I just remember one. Maybe I'll conclude here. What I just remember one is my childhood story now. While I was somewhere around 8-9 year old, my grandfather. So we in village we used to have that biloni kind of thing, and just do the churn the butter, right? So the technical there is a technical aspect how to churn the butter. In the summer you need to have cold water, and in the winter you need to have a warm water. So while you are churning, he said, "Hey, Kesab, can go to there and just get a fresh, cold water." There are small, I don't know. There was small well with the water pond kind of thing. So the one water was nearby. The one where we get the cold water was a little bit far, 5 minute extra walk for me. So he said, "Go there and get it." I just get it, immediately. That he said, "You get it from there." You know why? How do you know it? Then he said in the previous night he was telling me the disrobe. Can I just take a couple of minutes, Prabhuji? I just wanted to finish this. I know I'm just in time. Just will maybe take a couple of minutes. So he mentioned to me in the previous night why he mentioned me the story of Draupadi disrobe kind of thing, and I never heard in any scriptures, but there was one story he mentioned to me. Draupadi asked to Krishna, "Hey Krishna, why you get so late that in fraction of a second I could have been disrobed, and it could have been a disaster there kind of thing." Then Krishna replied, "Hey Krishna Dwarika Basi." So when you ask me, "Hey Krishna Dwarika Basi." You don't ask me, "Hey Krishna, my Hriday Basi." I could have then and there appeared. I have to come out from your Hriday, go Dwarika, and come back and actually protect you. That's the reason why I got late. So the Lord is looking like. So what he mentioned to me is, I am a normal person. I even know if you do a mistake, I can find it. Don't you think, God, Lord will know any mistake what we do. So I mean, still there are things. So, but we are over time. I'll just finish it here. This verse. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining today. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining today's class. Please forgive for any offenses I have made today. And there are very, very, uttam devotees. I am very, very Kanishta devotee. Please forgive me. Hare Krishna.
Very nice class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Very
Thank you very
wonderfully
much.
you have explained.